I want to talk today about very important topic because I've noticed that it's a recurrent problem with a lot of parents that they cannot get their kids dressed, and I've been there. I actually have been a kindergarten teacher for so many years, and I felt like this like getting dressed all of the 15 plus kids in my group at the same time to go outside during winter was just painful. So no matter how prepared you are, it does not matter. I feel like it's still a stressful time. That's why I feel like it's important to talk about a few things that we can do just to help them in this transition. I made this printable. You can find it over here, and you can download it by clicking the link below. It contains the ideas from the video in a nutshell, and hopefully you will find them useful. But let's start. The first tip is to be there. So transitions like this that get your child frustrated are the moments when you need to be there present. So just put the phone away, put the dishes away, just leave them for those 10-15 minutes, sometimes even half an hour, that your child needs your full attention. And be there in the sense that you don't need to do everything for your child, but you need to be present so that your child knows that when they will need help, they can ask for it. The second advice in the printable is to empathize. So also as adults, when we feel frustrated or when we feel like, oh, I don't know, something went wrong, and when we complain to a person, we don't want to hear, oh, well, you should have done that, or, oh, you could do this and this and this to solve your problem. Rather, we need a shoulder to lean on and just to get some, like, I know it's tough, just this empathy. And this is what kids need also in this situation. For us, it might not seem like a big problem, but for a child, not being able to do things on his own might feel very, very frustrating and might feel like a big problem to them. They don't have to think about, I don't know, their wages or like getting a pay raise or doing dishes or any other problems that we feel that are annoying. But they have their own problems that are big for them. Anticipate problems and remove triggers. So this has to do a lot with avoiding things that get your child in that like upset or that get your child angry about things. For example, if you know that your child cannot do buttons and it's still a very tough thing for him, just avoid clothes with buttons until you kind of see that this transition is going much more smoothly. Or zippers. Why do you need zippers on everything? Jackets are fine, of course, and if they have a bigger zipper, your child might be able to do it. Avoid, for example, jeans that are too tight to pull, or shoes that are that have shoelaces. Like kids, toddlers especially, cannot do their own shoelaces, so that means that they might try to, and they might get frustrated, and they will need you to help. So at first, just try to choose the most basic clothing that you can find that's comfortable and easy to put on, that's not tight and doesn't have extra things that are not really needed. Then verbalize problems. So your child might encounter problems, and because they are still developing their vocabulary and language, it might be difficult for them to explain. So it's important for you to explain the problems, putting them in very simple words so they can hear the vocabulary used, and the following times when they have the same problem, they can actually verbalize it. For example, I see you cannot put the shoe on because it's so tight. Let's try with the thumb inside and then push, push. the shoe is tight. And then next time your kid might say, shoe tight, and then they can ask for help by saying the words that you have used before. The same when you are putting, for example, your own jacket on. When you do the zipper, you can say like, oh, this zipper doesn't want to get up. It got stuck. The zipper is stuck. And then your child will automatically hear those words. And next time when his zipper gets stuck, he might use it. The next is to, yes, avoid doing things for your child. So, of course, this might help in the moment because it will avoid his frustration or his anger at something that doesn't work. But you don't want to be doing this for like the next 4 years. The most important thing is to be there to help, but not help physically all the time, you know? Like, okay, now let's put the shoes on, and then you put the shoes on for him. It's important to let him do as much as he can on his own, and then being there to help when they encounter that problem and they want your help. And if you can, just give verbal advice at first. For example, yes, let's put the pants on. First, put them down on the floor. Then you put one leg in. And then after he has done it, the other leg in. Very simple instructions that they can follow. If they have problems with that, then you can say, I see they're a bit tight. Let me help you. Or do you want my help? It's even better if you don't offer all the time, because he will be motivated to communicate his needs. So from the point of view of language acquisition, it's much, much better. As I mentioned, give step-by-step instructions, and after each short instruction, wait a little bit for your child to do what you have asked, and then go to the following. Another piece of advice would be to allow as much independence as possible, which means that, for example, in the hallway you can create this like small area for your child to put his clothes in, to take his clothes from there, but stick to the most basic things that he could choose. For example, if it's definitely rainy outside and it's a bit cold, there's not gonna be good weather for t-shirts and shorts, so just eliminate those and put, for example, 2 pairs of pants, 2 shirts that are both suitable for the weather, 2 pairs of shoes if you have them, 2 socks, 2 hats, everything in twos. If you have less, then just use what you have, and then your child can choose one or the other, but they will all be suitable options, at least from your point of view. Make sure that there's enough time. Yes, so we always know that, okay, this will be a stressful time. We have to get them dressed and get out of the house, but then we don't really think about how much time it will take to get dressed, especially if your child gets frustrated and they will have a tantrum. In order for you to react calmly and find the patience to be there for your child, you need more time. So at least in the beginning, until you see that this transition is more smooth, try to allocate enough time, even if it means 40 minutes for getting dressed. If you can, of course, figure out a way to do that. If you feel like this is not working and even if you allocated enough time, it still wasn't actually enough because there was like too many triggers, then try when you see that your child is calm enough, and then, for example, you're just taking a walk, you can talk about it and say, I've noticed that today it took a long time to get dressed. What could we do to make it a bit easier for us, for both of us? And then just try to browse ideas. Of course, if your child is talking and is emotionally ready for that, try to browse ideas together. Like, what do you think we could do next time? Could we maybe have an alarm that You can choose, and then you can choose the alarm together when it's time to get dressed. Or do you think we could um, prepare the clothes the previous day, and then everything will be ready for you in the hallway on the floor? And just think about ideas and include them in this plan, because then when it's time to get dressed again, you can say, remember we said yesterday that we're gonna put everything down on the floor, and look, it's already easier. I think today will be a better day to get dressed, or something like that. Yes, a thing that has helped us at least was to check the weather forecast together, because a lot of the kids are stuck in this, oh, it was summer, it was so nice, we could just wear t-shirts and shorts, and well, now it's autumn and now it's too cold to do that. And they still try to negotiate every single morning for at least a month. No, I want to wear a t-shirt and shorts, and I know I've been there. So then it's important to check the weather forecast together. It's something easy that you can do, and most of the times the app has like a cloud and a sun drawn, so it's pretty easy to understand, even if your child doesn't recognize numbers, for example, or doesn't know how to read how many degrees there will be. You can talk about how cold it will be, a little bit. For example, it's colder than yesterday, or it's a bit warmer than yesterday, but not too much. Or you can even check, some apps have this tiny person with blue if it's too cold, with red if it's very hot, and normal if it's like in between. Let's check the weather. Okay, see, today it's sunny, but it looks here that it's a little bit cold. See, the person is blue, so it means that it's a bit cold. What do you think we should wear today? And then you can plan. Okay, so probably long pants, so pants. Then probably long sleeves, so a long sleeved shirt and a jacket. Let me think, what would we put on the head? And then just include your child in making the decisions together, and of course explain when they're not the right ones. And one thing, if you want to encourage your baby who is sitting already to get dressed, or to learn how to get dressed, whenever you get them dressed, try to talk about what you are doing, so they can hear the vocabulary and understand that these are pants, this is a shirt or your body, this is your hat. And try to get them dressed with you sitting behind them, because that's when, if you put, for example, a pair of pants in front of both of you and you pull them, it's the same movement that they will do later on. And if they feel ready, for example, to pull, you can pull together. And of course, some tips would be also to start reading stories in which the main characters are getting dressed, and maybe they feel frustrated about this, and then it gives you a chance to talk about it a bit more. You can use role play. For example, the tiny characters that you have in the dollhouse can put some clothes on. You can even make very plain clothes from textiles, just pieces of material, and then get them dressed. And then of course one of the characters might feel like upset, I don't want to put the jacket on, and then you go over this all together. And yes, there are some songs that are quite cute for getting dressed, and you can invent your own songs. So whenever you go to the area where you get dressed, you sing the song, and then when you put the item, you, for example, let's put the pants on, let's put the pants on, one leg, two legs, let's put the pants on. This is just invented now, created now, but you can do your own. And just have patience, and with time it will become much easier. And I hope these tips will help. Bye.